All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Hakwadash, double honor to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect, shalom, barakatum. And this is going to be a lesson through the Spirit about what you can see here on the headline. Okay, this is another "we told you so." All right, and all of these camps that they just can't see it. Salakia, get all of this off my screen here. They can't see it, okay, because they either don't want to see it or they took a bag, right? And we know that's pretty much the case with the majority of these people here, okay? God damn, Salakia. Let's read a little bit of this article. It says Human Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has unveiled what critics are calling a chilling and Orwellian plan to embed electronic surveillance into the daily lives of Americans, all right, under the banner of health, okay? Now, under the banner, meaning they're doing what? They're hiding things, you see? They're hiding things, and we always bring this precept out. Okay, I believe that's Psalms 26 or Proverbs 26. Proverbs 26 and 25, it says, when he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. All right, and the reason, we bring that out because look at what they're doing. He's the Health and Human Services, but really what they're doing is serving themselves. Okay, they're going to serve themselves of your data, of your privacy. Okay, and ultimately this is going to enslave you, man. Okay. And this will be a culmination of what we talked about in Revelation 13, which we'll get, okay? It says, for every man, woman, and child in the United States within 4 years, okay? That's soon, okay? And 4 years is within the term of Donald Trump, which Donald Trump is, his term is up in 4 years. And this guy has been basically fulfilling every single prophecy that... that's left. All right, the him and the relationship with BB over there is culminating in 2nd Ezra 15, okay, which will lead to all of that chapter going down, which is Jacob's trouble, to 2nd Ezra 16, all right, to Revelation 13, okay, Revelation 17. These things are all getting ready to come to pass, okay. This is Revelation 13, and we're going to start at 11, but I'll come back. Let's read the rest of this, but the main part is, it says, 1 for every man, woman, and child within the United States within 4 years. Okay, it says we're about to launch the biggest advertising campaign in HHS history to encourage Americans to use wearables, okay? And so this is going to go into the image, okay? You're going to be shamed for not being a pro-American. You're going to be shamed for being a anti-S, that word that they're trying to put on the books to make it illegal to criticize certain folks, okay? And it says Revelation 13 and 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay, and we know the duality of the dual nature of the American political system, just like you had in ancient Rome. And in ancient Rome, you had the publicans and the plebeians, the publicans and the patricians. Okay, the patricians were more like your Republican. They were like the families of nobility that had all of the money, and the publicans were more of the everyday working man, but they were a political party, okay, that represented them, just like the Democrats and Republicans today, okay? And it says, he had 2 horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon, because really nobody signed up for this, okay? When you read through the subtlety of this guy, you see that he don't really mean you well. And how do we know that subtlety is a guise of Satan, okay? That's why I brought it out earlier. I'll just go to Genesis 3. Okay, Genesis 3:1, it says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh hath made." Okay, you see, he's more subtle. And that's why I brought out the precepts, when he speaketh nice, 7 abominations are in his heart. Because this is how Satan gets down. Okay, that's why you have the imagery of the lamb and the dragon in one. Okay, because he's going to speak softly like a lamb. The Republicans and Democrats, they offer you smooth and sweet things to say, but ultimately, where do things end up going? More war, okay, and more economic pressure, because prices only go up in America. They never come down, okay? But they're always promising you nice things when they're just taking away everything from you at the same time, okay? So that's what that's going into. Verse 12, and it says, "And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." You see? So this is him going back in his old bag, okay? It says we're about to launch the biggest advertising campaign in HHS history. Okay, the advertisement is what are they going to be putting in front of you? Okay, the image. Okay, they're going to try to reignite that vigor of the American dream, which never existed, and everybody knows it now. Okay, so people are either going to get it because they're that brainwashed and stupid, or they're just scared. One of the two. Okay. It says, Kennedy said in a House Committee on Energy and Commerce hearing on Tuesday, he says, "My vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years." Okay, every American, but it's not just going to be every American. It's going to be global. Okay, and we'll prove it here in a second. Verse 13, it says, "And he doeth," Revelation 13:13, "and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell upon the earth, by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast." Okay, and these are part of those miracles. Okay, there was an article I read recently. A guy was able to speak again after he put in a implant in his brain. Okay, so these wearables and these implants are going to be a means of this guy selling you hope. But why do you have to walk around with that in you? Because he's the one that robbed you. Okay, you know, like that scene Coming to America, where they all of their stuff and their luggage got stolen. There was a bunch of gold, and all of the toothbrushes and everything was gold, and the niggas tried to come back and sell it to them. That's what this is. It says, "Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live." Okay, the Roman Empire didn't die. Okay, it was wounded, it was down for a while, but it came back, and it came back with a vengeance. Okay, and in verse 15 it says, "And he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." And it's going to get bloody. Okay, it sounds nice now, but you're not going to have a choice in the matter, okay, when it's all said and done. Okay, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Okay, and this is enough. How many times we got to bring this same precept out? Well, it doesn't matter, because we're going to keep bringing it out anyway until it comes to pass. Okay, which it will. But this is another example of how this thing is going to be applied. Okay, and there will be some kind of event that's gonna herd everybody in this direction. Okay, there will be something major is gonna go down, and then all of a sudden it's gonna seem like a not so bad idea, even for these truthers out here that say they're never gonna take it. A lot of you gonna take it, man. Okay. It says, "My vision is America's wearing a wearable within 4 years," said Kennedy. All right, I think that's it. Look, Hustle Bitch says, "Wait, what?" Yeah, that's the sentiment. You see? Wait, what? And a lot of you camps, you're gonna have your members. You're gonna have a lot of questions. Okay, a lot of you gonna lose members in the coming days, because You've been lying to them, man. You've been telling them it's something that it's not, and it's right in front of their face the whole goddamn time. Okay? I'll read verse 16 again. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. What's a wearable? Okay? He said all Americans. He didn't specify. He didn't say the ones that were poor that couldn't afford health care. He said everybody. Okay? It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And see, the economy is going to be in trouble. Okay? People's perceived safety is going to be in trouble. Okay? It may be a cyber attack. Okay? Who knows what's going to cause it? Could be a cyber attack that could start a stock market crash, which could start a health crisis. Could be a epidemic. Who knows? But we know it's going to be something. Okay? And so this is what we have on the horizon while everybody else is bullshitting. You see? So I just wanted to bring that out. I'll end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Bahashim Rachak Shalom. Kwam Yasharak.